Uh, Hello everyone. I did not mean to be so late. I didn't mean to be as late as I was tonight. So, I actually lost because I was watching stuff, and I just lost track of time because I checked the clock, and God, I don't even remember what, now I see this Piker tested positive for COVID-19. Those are happy about that, even more so if he's unvaccinated. You know how liberal they always they always cheer whenever someone who um in so many or yeah in the slightest, even the anyone who is slightly different, then I'll just will they'll share if anything bad happens to them, whether they get sick, whether they don't, whether they're not physically well, or if they die. Liberal will cheer that on. And speaking of liberals, um, we're going to take a look at a liberal named Xanderhal. He's he's basically a child Vaush, because the kid is 22, and yeah, he still looks really young. That's why I call him a kid, and that's not an into him. It's just really that he looks young. So we're gonna take a look at his video or his name or whatever, because the title is cringe, and this is how you know that he's Gen Z and hasn't grown up. Alright, now just yeah, that was an insult, and I didn't. I almost didn't mean it's just I can't really help it. He titles his stream Shapiro C Whines about well. So Xanderhal is one of those Zoomers who went from conservative to SJW, because he described one of his first. I think this is the video that made him famous to um, among BreadTube, is that he used to be on the alt right. Yeah, that was the first video that he I got him attention, I guess. I think before he did gaming. And I say he's a child Vosh because he really tries hard to look and talk like Vosh. So I already said that he is taking a look at Ben Shapiro. Or no, taking a look is an understatement, I should say. He is I don't even know how to he's because Xanderhal's only purpose is to trigger the conservators. So yeah, let's just take a look at this stream. Um, Ben Shapiro season. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Okay, that's not good news. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And hi. God, I shouldn't streamed as late as I did. I should have done this a lot sooner. Yeah. So, there's a fly near me. Yeah, I better send this. Yay. I gotta copy and paste the link. Yeah, that's good news. Oh, I'm glad. Yes. So now I gotta paste. I'm just gonna say to guys that people don't notify, people, that YouTube doesn't notify people in my streams. That really sucks. Alright, let's just. Oh, I didn't realize the video I muted. Xanderhal. Oh, I didn't even realize he had intros.
I can't believe it. I can't believe.
What can't you believe? Why is chat blurred? What can't you believe? So, I'll post a link to this in the chat. There it is.
Ben Shapiro's about to have me out here defending Hasan Piker. I cannot believe.
Wait, Xanderhal doesn't like Hasan Piker? You don't even have to defend Hasan Piker. I thought Xanderhal was like. I don't know, because it would only make sense. Because if you look at Xanderhal's titles, Xanderhal, he puts, like, you know, seeds or triggered or Nazi in his chat. Hasan Piker.
Hasan is a big boy and can defend himself, but
Hey, catching up. You really don't have to, because there's nothing that I needed to, yeah, I was just rambling. Just saying why I was late. Just because I lost track of time. And, yeah, just saying it's unfortunate news. Alright, so. And Hasan Piker, if you've seen him, he's an edgelord. He's a trigger the conservators. Xanderhal's the same way, so I'm surprised Xanderhal would even say something like, I can't believe Ben Shapiro is making me defend Hasan Piker. That's really stupid that it has that ratio, 11,000 likes to 3.4 thousand dislikes. Yeah, that's the power of Hasan Piker, that's the power of his hypocrisy, that people are way too blind because they're such fanboys to either him or socialism.
unfortunately, while there are criticisms of left-wing people who advocate for the redistribution of wealth, we're not going to hear any of the salient or logical ones from Ben Shapiro.
Good one to talk, Xanderhal.
Hero of all people, so I think it's probably worth responding to this.
That is a true.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought just now.
Truism of politics that hypocrisy is always newsworthy. Hypocrisy is always newsworthy. If somebody is a religious Christian and then they have an affair, this is a newsworthy event, according to the media. If there's a politician who's right wing, that politician turns out to be gay. Really, really newsworthy, according to the media. But there's one area of hypocrisy that is just not newsworthy to the media, like truly not newsworthy. And that, of course, is if you are a socialist who's extremely wealthy and gives very little charity. If you are that person, then hypocrisy just doesn't play a part.
Okay, Hasan does give money to charity, and he's given quite a bit. The problem is, I don't think he gives nearly as much as he could totally afford to.
Then why are you defending Hasan?
Like, if I were in Hasan's situation, I would be doing a monthly charity stream. Possibly even a bi-monthly charity stream.
Why do I get the feeling that you actually wouldn't?
He can absolutely afford to do a charity stream one day out of the month, and he would raise a fuck ton for charity.
What kind of socialist is Xanderhal?
Very, very little going out of his pocket in any way. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm totally on board with that idea, but Hasan doesn't give very little to charity. That's just not true. That's Part of what. Also, look at Ben Shapiro's face. He looks like he's having.
I expected this from Xanderhal. Is to just attack.
Like he's nutting. This looks like he's coming. Ben Shapiro looks like he's coming here. This is the face he makes when he comes.
Hypocrisy is never a problem because
you're not funny, dude.
After all, you're calling for societal change. You yourself don't have to abide by any of these rules because some animals are more equal than other animals. But the socialist has the benefit of the bargain because you get to be as socialist as you want to, like Bernie Sanders, and then you get to have a lake house. You get to be a millionaire while proclaiming that billionaires are paying the flesh up. Okay, so this issue has become relevant over the course of the past couple of days because a guy named Hasan Piker, who I believe used to be a Young Turks guy, I don't really know that much about him. He apparently is a socialist Twitch streamer.
Hasan Piker is the nephew of Chunky Ogre, or Chunky Ogre as you guys like to call him.
There's a big article, big glowing profile about him in New York Magazine titled Streaming with Hasan Piker, the AOC of Twitter. I'm a political commentator with like...
Cherry, God, I hate Ben Shapiro. Yeah, you're so edgy.
Okay, well, in the past few months, Hasan Piker, it turns out, has been revealed to be a very wealthy person, which is good for him. He has a lot of folks who are following him over Twitch. That is his prerogative, and I'm glad for him that he's been able to build a following. But a couple of times in the last month, it's been revealed that this out-and-out socialist, I mean, this is what he calls himself, that he is a very wealthy man. Quote, Hasan Piker was in a rage. A million tabs were pinched together like sardines at the top of his browser. His jittery cursor bounced between them, summoning network news, Chiron's YouTube brands, viral tweets, and TikTok memes. Today's trending topic, Piker, who is 30, had purchased a $2.7 million house in West Hollywood. An ordinary Twitch streamer's housing wouldn't make headlines, but over the past 5 years, Piker has become one of the most prominent socialist pundits.
It really is true.
What's true?
You know, have you...
Socialists don't advocate for charity as a social safety net, right-wingers do. Why doesn't Benny give all his money? Because he's not. See, people like Rebel D, is that how you say his name? No, socialists advocate for abolishing rich people and giving all your money away. So this is a pivot. This is what liberals, to use the liberal terminology, this is pivoting.
I'm really curious, because this is where you'd have to call out hypocrisy.
Okay?
This is the only way you could call Hasan Piker a
geeky lesbian says, "Hey Ben, how about you shut up or shut your hypocritical mouth? You're not even arguing against him, you're just saying, oh, shut up, all I have to do is say shut up and I win, and I trigger the conservators."
That would be if you found instances of Hasan Piker criticizing Twitch streamers at some point in his past who make a lot of money.
He specifically criticized people who live in million-dollar homes. I'll pull it up. Hasan Piker. I think it's called "Nobody Needs This Much House," something like that. It is. It's called "Nobody Needs This Much House." I just pulled it up now. So I'll screen share that instead for the next 30 seconds. Yeah. Nobody needs this much house, $500 million. And what does Hasan Piker do? He buys a $2.7 billion home, or a $3 million home in cash. So that's where the hypocrisy of Hasan Piker comes in. It would have helped Ben Shapiro's argument if he included that screenshot, or one of his producers did.
Never hear socialists, at least not the ones that Hasan would ever agree with. Like, I never hear actual not critical.
Winston, if Ben Shapiro does make less money than Hasan, then that makes Hasan Piker look worse.
Crazy, non-tanky, like the type of people that Hasan would ever, like, involve himself with, saying that streamers are part of the group that we need to, like, are part of the rich that they need to eat or whatever, or that needs to be
well, when you say eat the rich, that's just as generic as you get, is rich. No matter why are you shifting? This is like a goalpost shift.
Gulagged or whatever, right? Like
gulag.
you never hear these people complaining about streamers, and the reason for that is streaming's probably one of the least exploitative jobs out there. Don't get me wrong, there's shit that goes down, obviously, like
if it's exploitive or
giveaways or certain sponsorships in a way that is manipulation or that is exploitation of your audience, right? But for the most part, most streamers who are just sitting there and they're reacting to videos or they're playing a game and they get donations from their audience. It's not really like the same as Jeff Bezos.
Oh my God, he's making the same cookie cutter regurgitated arguments that socialists like to say. Oh, it's okay because he's not Jeff Bezos. That's not an argument. And socialists need to stop pretending that it's an argument because that's just their go-to. Because they're saying, oh, all I have to do is say he's not Jeff Bezos and I win. Checkmate, conservatards. So dramatic, the house is so not a problem at all. He should give more to charity and be more proactive. The house is a non-issue, I doubt it. No, the house is an issue because Hasan Piker criticized those people before who
Elon Musk. We're not really talking the same tier here. Now, I admit, very rich streamers do have the benefit of not having to worry about bills. Like that's just the farthest worry from their mind at that point. If you're like a wealthy streamer, unless you're really bad with money, and that's something that most working class Americans don't have the privilege of having on their side. If you're working class, chances are you do have to worry about the bills. That is like your front and foremost worry in the back of your mind. And if you're a really popular, wealthy streamer and you're making like a couple hundred a year even, that's probably not really a worry for you. It's probably not that much of a worry for you. But you never see someone like Hasan or Hasan himself calling out those streamers. It's always like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and whatnot, like really rich people. It's always
shifting the goalpost. That is the absolute. It's always like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. Socialists. These are the only rich people. Yeah. According to socialists, these are the only rich people that ever exist. These are the only people who you can criticize just because they're among the top. As long as you're rich, that shouldn't matter. Because socialists believe in eating the rich, taxing the rich. They believe that rich people shouldn't exist. Ben Shapiro mentioned Sanders earlier, so Sanders, he used to say millionaires and billionaires. Now he just says billionaires just because he became a billionaire himself. That is top tier hypocrisy. Seriously though, that's hypocritical. I like how Ranting Monkey put it. Ranting Monkey says that socialism is the biggest, or I don't even know how to describe it. I just know that he describes it as grift, or a successful grift, because these socialists, their go-to is just, he's not Ben Shapiro, or he's not Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, therefore it's okay. All I have to do is say Ben Shapiro though, and Ben Shapiro though, and Elon Musk though, and I win. Spud's offline. Oh, I hope Spud Gun's doing well. Hope it's something serious.
What you see socialists actually calling out. Besides like crazy psychopaths on Twitter.
It's in America. The controversy about the purchase had made it to Fox News and Breitbart, and Piker was prepared to take on the interlopers who logged on to see the fireworks. Quote, "The only reason my house is expensive is because of the area I live in," he growled. "Are you guys really that stupid?" That's not even a response to the charge. The charge is that for a socialist, you seem to be spending large, my friend. It doesn't mean, like, you could have, there are a lot of places that are not in West Hollywood that don't cost $2.7 million. They're all over the United States. You can get yourself a tiny little shack and live yourself the Henry David Thoreau lifestyle for probably 30 grand somewhere.
The reason why socialists like to call out billionaires, at least from what
I just noticed something. Alright, chat. Is it me? Or does Xanderhal? Hi, Zalbla. You're crashing. I'll hang out in a bit. No problem. Oh, he's been sick, he's getting better, he was a monkey's chat. Yeah, I saw that. So, I don't know if I'm the only one who hears this. Chat, you tell me if you could hear this as well. Am I the only one who thinks Xanderhal sounds like a teenage vegan games? Can't believe I'm making that comparison.
I can tell is because billionaires and millionaires that are, you know, owners of some kind of capital, not like just I made all my millions through the stock market or through TikTok or yada yada yada. You never really see.
So here's Zalba's GoFundMe,
you know,
in the
like
chat.
like your 1 or 2 millionaires even getting criticized by socialists. It's usually pointing at the like top of the one.
Yeah, 700 likes on Zalba's GoFundMe. Saying hi. Well, I'm not asking about familiarity. I'm just his voice. Does Xanderhal sound like a teenage vegan games?
%. Look at what capitalism enables. Look just how wealthy someone can be. So wealthy that they have more money in their own assets than the wealth of
Twitch means nothing. I think I've seen, yeah, Xerox is an actual Jake's chat. Owning a nice house is not the issue. Well, it's not the issue. It's not that he owns a nice house. It's that he criticizes people for being rich, and then he buys a house that rich people would live in. It's a nice house, not a mansion. That's shifting the goalpost, because that's still, yeah, you're not even, whether it's a nice house or a mansion, whether it's not a mansion, doesn't matter, because he still paid $3 million in cash for it. Ben Shapiro and Socialist owns a house, and then he posts a link to a Discord. I think I've seen Cherry in actual Jake's chat too. Socialism is when you live in a shack. No, that's not it at all. Socialism, because the thing is, Hasan Piker could easily buy like a little house or an apartment, or rent an apartment. Because if he did that, then nobody would be talking about him. Actually, if Hasan Piker wasn't even a socialist, if he didn't criticize rich people and he was a $3 million house in cash, nobody would talk about it. Well, I mean, of course socialists would, because they would say, how dare you buy that house to redistribute all your wealth.
Third world nations. Look how broken capitalism is that you can have people who are just hoarding money as a cost at this point. It's like, I want to be on top.
Xanderhal.
It's almost just trying to outdo each other. They've got more money than they could ever need. Than thousands of generations below them could ever need. And yet there are people out there who can't
I don't know what he said about a show.
Don't have a home. Or
here, I'm gonna search
who just have money problems in general. People who live in countries that the exploits of these capitalist nations and industries are destroying through climate change. A lot of third world countries are being harmed by climate change. It's making their problems there, especially when it comes to poverty.
He's just using all the liberal buzzwords. Capitalism, climate change. Oh. Well, breaking news. Jack Gunsky is putting corporate United on hiatus until he finishes his thesis. He'll continue. Oh, he'll also discontinue appearances on the corner. He'll start doing both again. Oh, that sucks, Jack. I wish you the best of luck. Alright, thanks, Kiberdam. And thanks for telling Zalba, or I could assume you told Zalba. I hope you're doing well, Zalba. You too, keep.
And famines and droughts, even worse. That is typically the core of the general leftist criticism of those that are wealthy. And
that sound was coming
and
from
Hasan and just Twitch streamers in general don't really fall into that category of people.
He says, it's my labor. Where he does and doesn't fall? Him preaching that you should, him criticizing rich people, saying that nobody needs a mansion while he buys a $3 million house in cash should be the important part of the argument.
I'm the one who's streaming for 10 hours. Welcome to Capital.
So Ryoma says socialism, no, it's Joy Drughill. You're a socialist and you don't live in a cave in the woods? These socialists really... I'm going to say this now. Internet socialists, actually socialists in general, especially after the whole Hasan Piker drama, are some of the most disingenuous people you'll ever come across. Because they'll just strawman your argument. They'll say, according to conservators, if you're a socialist, you need to be homeless, living in a cave or the woods. No internet access, no food access. Yeah, they'll just go to the absolute extreme instead of actually listening to how it's hypocrisy. It's basically arguing with children. Because that's the same thing children do.
Capitalism, my
They're
dude.
Children, basically.
It's my labor.
What?
Yes, whose labor? So.
Okay.
This is stupid.
Capitalism doesn't really seem to prioritize the low-level workers making money. That's not...
I think he even has the same speaking patterns as vegan game. Yeah. So that's, the whole Jack Gunsky deal. Socialism is more critical about how they got their wealth. No, it's just about them being wealthy. That they should be against themselves just for being wealthy.
Generally where capitalism leads. The whole idea behind Marxist thought, though, is around the workers owning the means of production and getting their fair share. That's literally the whole aesthetic of socialism, right? Even somebody who isn't a socialist can acknowledge that.
In other words, you bet on yourself, you've done really well, and you believe...
And anyone who is a socialist should be able to acknowledge how Hasan Piker is a hypocrite. Because you have to, really... I shouldn't say really, because it's simple. It really is that simple, that you just have to take a look at what he says and how he's a hypocrite for saying or for doing something else that he said he's against. It's that simple. Anyone who's not a socialist should be able to see that hypocrisy. He's just mad because he didn't think of it first. How does that make any sense? Jeff Bezos could spend $1 million a day for 410 years. Hasan is nowhere near the same league as that. That is the basic definition of shifting the goalpost. Socialists always shift the goalpost. Jeff Bezos lives rent-free in their head because all they ever say is Jeff Bezos. That's their only argument. Well, that and conservators think that socialists have to be homeless and live in the cave.
Deserve the proceeds of that labor. But aren't you exploiting all the people who are engaged in commerce with you? After all, what service of value are you providing them? You are Twitch streaming video games. Is that a vital social service? What makes that service significantly more important, socially speaking, from a Marxist perspective?
Wait, your job's not important as a social service. Why do you deserve to make money? See, hypocritical. That's anti-social.
Effective. Then the guy who picks up the garbage. Why doesn't he own a $2.7 million home in West Hollywood? According to New York Magazine, Piker is a Twitch streamer who spends every day in front of a camera speaking to his 1.5 million followers.
But I should also mention that Twitch followers require payment, or at least I don't know how Twitch works. I just know that a lot of Hasan Piker's fans and followers had to pay to be on a certain tier or something. Yeah, because they ranged between $2 to $10.
Platform's top users Piker mostly talks politics. He trawls through Twitter and roasts bad takes from career right-wing correspondents like Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson. He breaks down hawkish New York Times op-eds line by line, steadily working himself into a frothy fury.
Why does Ben look so angry? He's not an argument, Joey Droghill.
Associative and open-ended. I have an accelerated version of brainworms, he says. I'm literally always online. I'm consuming media non-stop. Tune into a Piker stream, watch him condemn the civilian death toll in Afghanistan. An hour later, he may move on to visiting his favorite WWE feuds. Fans don't need to study Marx to understand where Piker is coming from. Well, they might have to read Marx to understand why Piker is violating core tenets of Marxism. He looms over his streaming rig at 6'4", broad-shouldered in a silver bracelet and pink-speckled cowboy bebop shirt, gnashing a cut of nicotine gum against his molars. On election night, from the same room, he hosted nearly 230,000 concurrent viewers, making him the 6th most-watched election live stream across the internet. A month prior, he broadcast playing the video game Among Us with representatives AOC and Ilhan Omar.
So you can hear in his voice. Can you hear how angry Ben Shapiro is? He sounds.
Oh, he's angry. All I have to say is he's angry and I win. He's angry, guys. I'm not even gonna address his arguments because he's angry. That's all I have to say. God.
Fucking furious. He sounds so mad. You can hear it in his voice. And you know what the reason for that is?
Dear God, do I want to hear the reason?
You want to know why I think Ben Shapiro sounds so angry right now? I think it's because Hasan is a master at bringing in the Zoomers to the left. Like,
I actually thought I was going to say something like Ben Shapiro's jealous of Hasan Piker's wealth. That Hasan, and then pull up like some source that says Ben Shapiro made this much in 2020 compared to Hasan Piker. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't say jealous. Actually, yeah, he did say jealous, just not in the way that, just not the wealth portion, with the audience portion. He's mentioning the, I was gonna say, this is also what I hate about Zoomers, is that they go from conservative to SJW. Xanderhal is an example of that, because she was born in 1999, he's 22, and yes, I know he looks 16. That's another drawback of being a Zoomer.
Say what you want. At this point, I would argue Hasan alone does more to bring, like, edgy Zoomers to the left than me.
Why is that a good thing, though? You're making it sound like it's a good thing. Because Hasan, I don't know, Hasan is a racist. He hates white people. He doesn't really provide arguments, as seen in the Tom McDonald reaction video. Because just edginess alone, actually edginess in general is almost never a good thing. Because the reason I say this is because if you're edgy and you're against popular opinions, that's when it can work, I guess. And if you're just edgy for the sake of being edgy, for the sake of trolling, for the sake of repeating popular opinions, well, not only repeating popular opinions, if you're edgy while repeating popular opinions that you're just parroting and not even thinking about how it's a good argument or a good stance, then that is definitely not a good thing, and that's what Xanderhal's doing. He's making it sound like, his audience being edgy Zoomers is a good thing. Even though it...
Destiny and Vaush combined, Hasan is up there as one of the largest streamers on Twitch, period. He's buddies with Trainwrecks and XQC and all those huge fucking Twitch guys. And
Ben, you didn't read Marx either, clearly. Well, Marx wasn't, I was going to say anti-racist, anti-Semite who used the N-word and called Mexicans lazy. That's all I need to know about Marx. Zanbot, are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? Is Zenbot one of Xanderhal? Actually, no, because I would have seen like a verification or something. I don't know. Because I know that actual Jake that was Nightbot.
Fortunately, yes. He is probably the most prominent.
Ben sounds like he's getting cooked again. Yeah, not even addressing his arguments. All they ever care about is just saying, look, he's triggered, guys.
Left-leaning voice in this entire sphere of the internet. Whether you like him or not, this is just an arguable fact. He is the largest left-wing voice in this area of the internet, Twitch, YouTube, etc., right?
Okay, and then later in this stop piece, he talks about the tax the rich dress that AOC wore.
Destiny does jackass for the left ever since the schizophrenic lefty RTBH. Ben Shapiro read Marx's Capital Illustrated or Illustrated Introduction for Children. I don't watch Hasan. I support him because he's still good at doing that. Hasan is still good at being a hypocrite. He's not bringing it into the left outfit now. Yeah.
And here's what he said, quote, I think the Met Gala is a disgusting, gluttonous exercise. And if given the opportunity to go, I'd do it in an effing heartbeat. I'm sorry, everyone would. Why wouldn't you want to hang out with Frank Ocean? They're not going to the effing Davos summit. Well, but...
Is effing in the article, or is that just Ben Shapiro's choice? I don't know, it just seems odd.
Yes, they are. What do you think the Met Gala is? It is a bunch of rich liberals who are getting together to feat themselves for their rich liberalism. Again,
that is true.
The media are not interested in calling out hypocrisy. The reason I say that is because this story was now updated. Okay, so there was a Twitch data.
Can never tell if it's
Let
mine.
me give you an example of Ben Shapiro actually being hypocritical, and this is undeniable. This is actually an example of almost every.
As liberals would tell me, this is just no you argument, therefore you're wrong.
Every right-wing creator online being inconsistent and hypocritical. So Ben Shapiro rails against Silicon Valley and rails against like big tech such as YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and all of that for you know, punishing conservatives and talks about how they're bad and they're evil and yada yada yada, and yet he still uses all of those platforms
because that's the only reason he can get his voice heard. I knew it. See, socialists are so predictable because they make the same arguments. How's it hypocritical for him to... It would only be hypocritical if he said he was boycotting big tech. Oh, I don't even know about Ben Shapiro, so I don't know what exactly he would say. I don't know. Still, a dose of Buckley said the same thing too, that you're against big tech, you talk a lot about big tech, you're anti-big tech, so why are you using big tech? And it's because it's the only way they can get their voices heard. Because that, yeah, even though they take down a lot of stuff, it still gives everyone a voice, even though it would take them down eventually. They're just using what they have now. Destiny could probably push people to the right. Yeah, that was so predictable. Ben's brain is breaking. Xanderhal, like, Ben forgot where it was for a moment. Oh, Xanderhal, it looked like. He was on a real-time Bill Maher bragged about full of money, Paul Kettle Black.
To upload his content. When people watch his videos and those videos are monetized, that money goes to YouTube. He's being a complete hypocrite.
He knows what he's doing. He's posting them on YouTube because it gets his voice heard, because he's still... That is not a gotcha. And it's not only not a gotcha, it's sad and pathetic that Xanderhal is trying so hard. Yeah, he's using mental gymnastics to the extreme to defend Hasan Piker, to defend his edgy buddy Hasan Piker. Yet, he's purposefully not trying to understand why Ben Shapiro is using YouTube as a platform. That's I could even pull a Xanderhal and say, oh, Xanderhal sounds so triggered at Ben's supposed hypocrisy. Yeah, that is just disingenuous. It's really disingenuous. Oh yeah, what Hasan Piker's doing is okay because even though he settled stuff about rich people in the past, it's okay because he's not Jeff Bezos. Yeah, look at Ben Shapiro's hypocrisy. He's a YouTuber. He's on YouTube. Yeah, he posts his stuff on YouTube. Hypocrisy.
Will at one moment say these platforms are awful and we ought to hate them, while he still uploads his content there, benefits from being on those platforms, and gives those platforms money in the form of their cut of the the ad revenue from people watching his videos.
How is Xanderhal this dense? How is anyone this dense? Because really, I have to repeat myself again. He uses mental gymnastics and goalpost shifts. He defends Hasan Piker to death, yet he finds one little thing to exploit Ben Shapiro on, and he says, ho, hypocrisy.
It's not because he doesn't believe what he's saying, it's because where the fuck else upload his content? YouTube's the biggest video sharing platform in the world.
You do acknowledge it.
It's impractical to and not upload his content to YouTube. Just like it is impractical to be a politician and to get your message out there and to be invited to the Met Gala and not go to the Met Gala and wear a dress that sends the message that you stand for out there, tax the rich, in the case of AOC, who he's criticizing now and trying to call a hypocrite.
She was a hypocrite.
People are willing to compromise on their ideals in the long run if it helps them achieve those ideals in the future. She may not like rich liberals. That doesn't mean AOC shouldn't go to Met Gala and spread her message.
No, that's exactly what it means.
At a very televised event.
AOC has so many followers on Twitter, she doesn't even need the Met Gala to spread the message. Because look at how popular she is on Twitter. She doesn't need to go to a televised event, especially when the news is already reporting on. See, this is the other thing about Xanderhal. He's defending Hasan Piker and AOC just because they're socialists. Yet, because Ben Shapiro is a right-winger, he's trying to exploit and he's trying to exploit everything he can to make him look and sound like a hypocrite. Unpredictable socialist arguments of Jeff Bezos, though, and I think he did acknowledge that Ben Shapiro has to use YouTube because it gives him a voice. Yeah, he's not saying, because that's not hypocrisy. Also makes those platforms money. Yup, incentivizing those platforms. That's not an argument.
Here's how it's reported from the New York Times. Twitch, the live video site popular with gamers, said on Wednesday it had endured a data breach that security researchers believe may have provided sweeping insight into the platform's computer code, security vulnerabilities, and payments to its content creators. Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, confirmed it had been breached hours after a user posted what the user claimed was an enormous trove of Twitch data onto the anonymous message board website 4chan. The user said the file contained, among other items, the history of Twitch's source code, proprietary software development kits, an unreleased competitor to Steam and online game store, and programs, and a list of
Transformer, the debate is over.
The amount of money that each of the site's streamers has earned since 2019. Find out how much your favorite streamer is really making, the user posted. Jeff Bezos paid $970 million for this. We're giving it away for free. Again, we're going through this New York Times piece about Twitch. Buried way down in this article, way down in this article, is this little revelation. Quote, according to the list of earnings, which could not be independently...
Society. That's the argument socialists use, actually. That's the argument that Hasan Piker used. Actually, I don't know if it was him who used it exactly. It's just that's what socialists commonly use whenever they're called out on their hypocrisy.
Verified. Some notable personalities had made millions of dollars since 2019. One streamer, Hasan Piker, anticipated people getting angry about the amount of money the list said he had made. Just woke up to some fun news, he tweeted. Can't wait for people to be mad at me about my publicly available sub counts again. And then he trended. He said, bro, come on. Okay, so it never says in here what exactly Hasan Piker made. Okay, now, let's just put it this way.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about Hasan Piker.
It makes headlines every time a conservative signs a contract.
That's what I don't like about Hasan Piker. Xanderhal mentioned earlier that Hasan Piker is edgy. He acknowledged that. And that's all he relies on, and that's why he's popular. Can't wait for people to get mad at me. God, he doesn't... All he wants to do is trigger people. Which is funny because there was one time when he claimed that 2016 is back and criticized, yeah, as a way to criticize people for being edgy, or conservatives basically for being edgy as they were in 2016. Yet, to criticize conservatives for being edgy, yet he's edgy. Yeah. So that's the second reason Hasan Piker is edgy, or is a hypocrite, I should say. He's an edgy hypocrite. That's basically the best way to describe, or the only way to describe Hasan Piker, the quickest way.
If the IRS information of conservative commentators were leaked, you think that wouldn't be front page news? It would absolutely be front page news, and it wouldn't be about the leak or how the leak came about. What it would be about was the amount of money that everybody was making. How do we know this? Because the front page of every major newspaper this week was...
Wasn't it released? Wasn't it leaked?
Oh, yes, Ben Shapiro. Nobody's talking about how much money those streamers were making when it got leaked. Yeah, guys, you guys were on Twitter, right? Not a soul was talking about Hasan's leaked income. Not a soul.
Being edgy is not an argument, Xanderhal.
Not a single... It was like a ghost town. Everyone was criticizing, however, that data from Twitch leaked. Nobody was talking about how much those streamers' incomes were when they got leaked.
So, what exactly did these leaked documents show? Show that...
He's trying to get him on a technicality. He's not even arguing how Hasan Piker is not a hypocrite. Or actually he was, I'll give him that. It wasn't a good argument. Still though, Xanderhal's just nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking.
Apparently rakes in about $3 million a year by doing his Twitch streaming. Which is a lot of money. It's a lot more money than your average day-to-day Marxist lower-class worker. Why is that? The reason that isn't the headline is because socialists are never held to their own standards. They are never held to their own standards.
That's true.
See, here's the thing about socialism. Actually held to your standard, then you would presumably...
Marxism was when you're poor. Well, since Marxists hate rich people so much, they might as well be poor. They might as well give away most of their own income. Marxism means when you are poor. Seriously, these people... Is it the 2Q fallacy? Here, I'll look it up. False dichotomy. Yeah, that's what it is. Socialists always hinge on the false dichotomy fallacy. Like, if you're Marxist, you have to either be rich or poor.
Be very concerned with giving away a lot of your money to charity or ensuring that the amount of money that you made for your socially useless service, according to Marxist theory, because of course your labor should be judged by some outside metric that is not the market. So somebody's going to have to...
Bro, I don't read theory.
Bro? Right now I'm just nitpicking. He sounded like he was going to peep when he said Marx, because Marx is a terrible guy. He said Mexicans are lazy. He said he was the N-word and he's anti-Semitic. I'd puke if I said Marx.
Okay.
Because Marx...
I don't even read theory all that much, but I've read enough that I know that both... So I've read Bakunin and I've read Marx. I've read the
Is it Buchanan? Here, I'll pull a Xanderhal. It's called Buchanan Xanderhal. That's how his name is pronounced. He pronounces Buchanan, therefore everything he says is wrong.
Communist Manifesto, and I've read The Conquest of Bread. Really basic shit. I don't like to read, but it's what I've read so far, okay? And in both those bits of literature, they talk about the value for entertainment and art. And what's the word? There was a word.
Marx, you must give all your money to charity. Well, certainly not all of it. Because Marxists advocate that you need to, just that you can't be rich. Because if you're rich, you have to tax the rich and eat the rich. So pathetic seeing all these socialists in the chat, defending Hasan Piker just because they're fanboys. Because they say tax the rich and eat the rich. Yet when one of their own becomes rich, they're saying, oh, well, you can't criticize him because you're basically saying he needs to be poor, he needs to be homeless, and he needs to give away all of his money.
Used for it, non-utilitarian work. Work that's not necessarily necessary for society, but stuff like art and whatnot, entertainment being completely valid as a career, and you're even allowed to own your own stuff. I believe a quote, and this is anarchist theory even. I believe there was a quote in The Conquest of Bread, which was written by Bakunin, if I remember correctly. There was literally a quote that said that you are entitled to ownership of the clothes in your back, the bed you sleep in, the hammer and the anvil that you build, whatever you build with, whatever you produce. You're allowed to own things and have stuff under socialist or even anarcho-communist perspective, where people believe that anarcho-communism, you can't own anything, but even the top theorists on this, in the past, historically, say, yeah, of course you own your bed and your house and the thing and your hammer and your anvil and your clothes. Well, of course you own those things. Of course you're allowed to own things, you know? That God.
Wait, I was gonna look at his chat. Now I'm gonna mute because if you're gonna argue in someone's political position, you should at least understand it. What a dumb F. Yeah, look at all these socialists in the chat. Mash Brutato, look at all your bros. They're not understanding anti-socialist arguments because they're not holding their own accountable. So yeah, that's top tier hypocrisy.
Of course you're allowed to own things.
Well, that's a straw man because that's not what Ben Shapiro is saying. He's not saying you can't own things, and especially things that you just listed. A bed? That's a necessity. A $3 million house in cash. That you definitely don't need a $3 million house. Nobody, because Hasan Piker said nobody needs this much house, and he goes and buys a $3 million house in he buys a $3 million house in cash, and it doesn't matter if it's a mansion or just a nice house. It still costs more than, yeah, it still costs as much as he would criticize. Because Hasan Piker, or socialists in general, socialists talk a lot about living to their means, or they basically say that you can't be rich, that you need to be rich, or no, that if you're rich, that you need to just redistribute most of your wealth.
Do you know? That God, Ben Shapiro's eyebrows are really wild. I've always thought I had wild eyebrows, very.
Well, as long as we're criticizing people's hair, you have the cheesiest mustache and facial hair that I've seen.
Hard to deal with.
No, I shouldn't say that.
If I do this, rude. My eyebrows get a little weird. Okay, they get a little fuzzy. That's why I like to keep them nice and slicked the right way. But God, Ben Shapiro's eyebrows are like a couple of fuzzy caterpillars on his face.
I also am not.
You just described your own eyebrows. Ben, what is your job? Ben's not a socialist. Are you allowed to own your anime body pillow on your socialism? These socialists aren't even... Has Ben read Marx? Of course he has.
Not sure how you defend a $2.7 million home or a $3 million income for doing those things, and then say it's my labor.
It's easy. You can defend it because you could say, oh, all I have to do is say Jeff Bezos did when I win. That's how you defend it. And yeah, you can defend it by saying, oh, so you want it to be poor, so you want it to be homeless and live in the streets.
Labor.
And they're not even
No, that's my perspective, dude. If you're gonna do the it's my labor routine, welcome to capitalism, my dude. Seriously.
My dude. Welcome to
so
capitalism,
cringe.
my dude. Only capitalism believes the workers should be paid for their labor. That's a capitalist idea, that the workers ought to be compensated for their labor.
Welcome to capitalism, my dude. So it is amusing to watch the
cringe. Seriously, Xanderhal criticized Ben for supposedly being angry and triggered. Yeah, that's Xanderhal's reaction. And I know that if liberals were to see this, they'd say, oh, this is no you, therefore you're wrong. Except, that's Xanderhal. That's basically what Xanderhal is. High progressive says capitalism is cringe. Oh yeah, well, socialism is cringe. Communism is cringe. Marx is cringe. Your comment is cringe. Your username is cringe. Progressivism is cringe. And oh, you're saying progress is cringe. Well, you're saying all lives matter doesn't care about all lives matter. Yeah, this is what I don't like about. This is also especially what I don't like about Zoomer socialists.
Media play this game. You're a hypocrite. If you are a right-winger who abrogates your own principles, if you're a left-wing socialist who earns millions of dollars online, then you are not a hypocrite.
Vegan gains route and using yourself as an example. Like, oh, please pity me.
Hypocrite in any way. By the way, if you're a left-wing outlet that rails against the evils of capitalism while taking millions of dollars from hedge funds and YouTube, nobody has to hold you to account or point out that you need to. If you are Young Turks, for example.
Socialism is when you don't get paid for your label.
Label. Oh, he said label. Oh, listen to this. I can't even think of proper insults. I don't know. Or proper joke insults, I should say.
Karl Marx. True. Can we please make the donation sound, Ben?
Welcome to capitalism, my dude.
Shapiro saying welcome to capitalism, my dude.
Cringe.
Yeah, let's do that, actually. Someone clip that shit. Get a clip of Ben Shapiro saying welcome to capitalism, my dude. We're making that the new donation sound. The new...
Xanderhal once again proving that that the only thing he cares about is triggering and owning people.
Sub noise. Every time someone gives me money, it's gonna be welcome to capitalism, my dude.
And you attempt to crush your own unionization efforts, right? If you are the outlet for unionization is the only thing that matters. And then, like a couple of years ago, it turns out that people at your place are trying to unionize, and you yell at them not to unionize. Nobody seems to care very much about that.
Vaped on stream.
And now, here's my point about hypocrisy. You can make the case for Hasan, or TYT, or I believe Hasan used to be a TYT. You can make the case for all of these people that personal activity doesn't abrogate principles. And you can make the case that the Marxist principles are correct, and you are living in opposition to those Marxist principles because everybody is a sinner, right? This is sort of the religious perspective. There are religious principles about morals. You don't always live up to those because everybody is a sinner. That doesn't mean the morals are wrong, it means you're wrong. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say everything I'm doing is entirely justified and I'm a Marxist. I'm a Marxist stalwart while simultaneously living high on the hog the way that a capitalist will. Here's my capitalist view of all this. Congratulations to Hasan on earning his business success. I hope he enjoys his $2.7 million house and his $200,000 of earned income every month. I hope he enjoys it to the fullest of his ability and lives a...
Wait, he's actually just functioning on the idea that, like, socialism is when you don't get paid. Like, socialism is when breadlines and poverty and the government takes everything from you. He's unironically operating on that perspective. Does Ben Shapiro know what socialism is?
Do you know what socialism is? You obviously don't, upon seeing the stream.
Actually know, like, what the definition of socialism is. If I asked him what the definition was, I feel like he'd say the definition, like dictionary definition of it, and then proceed to not apply that definition to...
Oh my god, you are... Alright, what? Yeah, lack of self-awareness. Xanderhal lacks complete self-awareness. Because he's saying, oh, Ben Shapiro, he could quote the dictionary definition and still not know. Look, Xanderhal is listening to these anti-socialist arguments, criticizing Hasan Piker's hypocrisy. They're clearly pointing out what Hasan Piker's hypocrisy is, and he's still choosing not to understand it. Because, you know, Xanderhal lives in a bubble, and a bubble that lacks any and all self-awareness.
The way he talks about it.
Happy, fulfilling capitalist life. Same for all of the people over at places like TYT. But please stop pretending that you are a good Marxist if you don't live like a Marxist and justify yourself in capitalist terms.
Is TYT even Marxist? I feel like TYT is mostly like SOCDEM. Like, they're certainly more left-leaning than CNN or MSNBC or anything. But I don't even think that TYT is Marxist or socialist. I mean, certainly they have socialists working for them, but the lean is more SOCDEM, if anything. They tend to focus on, like, more pragmatic shit, like policy.
Under Marxism, or up until Marxism, socialism and communism are the same. Oh.
Socialist redistribution. I know what you're thinking. It's time to binge some more Ben Shapiro videos. Well.
Okay. TYT is mostly SOCDEM, true.
SOCDEM is a stupid label.
Anna Kasparian has been leaning further left lately. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, didn't Ben Shapiro and Anna Kasparian debate? I guess Anna Kasparian probably pissed Ben Shapiro off and won or something. That would be really cool.
This is really pathetic. Oh, Anna Kasparian probably triggered Ben Shapiro, and that's why she won. First of all, being edgy doesn't mean you win. I mean, you could tell yourself that all you want. You can act edgy all you want and declare yourself the winner, I guess. Objectively, that's not going to be the case, and you're only saying that because... Look, if I was as edgy as Xanderhal is, I would have already called him a simp. And I'm not doing that because I don't want to rely on... Yeah, I wouldn't want to rely exclusively on edginess. It's more about discussion.
Yeah, is he coping? That's actually great. Anyway.
Is he coping? It's another term that liberals like to use. It's coping.
If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and of course join my fan Discord where we watch movies and play games. And I even debate people in there. So if you want to debate me, be sure to join the fan Discord in order to do that. And of course, if you want to support me financially to help me doing help me keep doing what I do. Welcome to capitalism. You can donate, subscribe, or gift subs on my website, YouTube, Twitch.
So, we actually got through all of it, so we don't need to do a part 2 like we do on actual view streams. So, what did you guys think in the chat? What did you guys think? Then I'm still in chat, first of all. This is no one's watching, so I would assume that everyone's gone. Or that the people just stopped watching this. God, that was a cringe fest. So I'm gonna go live for maybe 5 more minutes. Probably a little under 5 minutes. Let's see. What's a little less than since just because I don't get any viewers, especially on a night when nobody else streams. I assume there's not going to be any comments or questions or concerns or anything. Might as well just end it. Actually, I could check out, or I could take a look at Zalbo's GoFundMe. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Copy link. Sorry for the clicking. Oh, that's good. 700. Oh, give a round of applause to Ryan O'Gorman for $100 donation. And I will post Zalbla's in chat, the GoFundMe. Zalbla's GoFundMe. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thanks everyone for listening. I'll see you the next time I stream. I actually think I might stream tomorrow just because right before I went live here, I remember that I wanted to cover, Vegan Games and Isaac Butterfield drama. So, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, we'll just see. Take care, everyone. Xanderhal was a hypocrite, and Lex, alright, now I'm gonna start my song over. Xanderhal was a hypocrite,